story I'm going to tell you is an African folk tale, and it is called the Awongalema tree. Now, once in Africa, it hadn't rained for a long, long time. The grass was turning brown and withered. The trees weren't bearing fruit. The animals were starving. They were all so hungry. A group of 4 of them got together and began to talk with each other and said, what are we going to do? We haven't eaten in so long, and the trees aren't bearing fruit the way they usually do. We're so hungry. There must be something we can do. And Lion spoke up and he said, you know, I heard once about a magic tree not far from here. And all you'll have to do is find this magic tree, stand under the tree and speak up into the tree and say its name. And magic will happen and fruit will grow on the tree. Well, his friends were so excited. They said, this is wonderful. Where can we find this tree? Let's try. What have we got to lose? So they decided they would do this. And the 4 friends got up and they went walking. And they walked and they walked and they walked. And they came to a big valley. There wasn't much in the valley, and even there the grass was all withered. And there was one tree in the middle of this valley, one huge tree. And they said, this must be it. This must be the magic tree. And they ran over to the tree and they stood under the tree and they looked up into his branches and they said, what's the name of the tree? And nobody knew. They looked at each other and they said, well, here we are. Now we need to know the name of the tree to work its magic. What should we do? Well, Cheetah spoke up. And Cheetah said, you know, I know that there is a great mountain spirit, and the mountain spirit knows everything. I bet if I run real fast and run to the magic spirit, the mountain spirit will tell us what the name of the tree is. And they all said, okay, it's worth a try. Go quickly. And he said, of course I go quickly. I'm the fastest one here. And he ran and ran and ran until he came to the big mountain. And he ran up the mountain and he sang, mountain spirit, speak to me. Tell me the name of the magic tree. And the ground shook and the mountain rumbled and the great mountain spirit said, Awongalema. 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 Oh, good. I can remember that. And the cheetah ran down the mountain and ran all the way back to his friends, except that before he got to his friends, there was suddenly a big anthill in the road, and he fell over the anthill, and he knocked his head and knocked the name of the magic tree right out of his head. Well, he went up to his friends and he said, I'm so sorry. I had the name of the magic tree, but I lost it. It fell out of my head. Oh, and his friends were so disappointed, and they said, what are we going to do now? Well, Lion spoke up and Lion said, well, I am the bravest one here. I will go and speak to the mountain spirit. I will be able to remember the name. So they said goodbye to Lion, and Lion ran all the way to the mountain, and he ran up the mountain. And when he got to the top of the mountain, he said, mountain spirit, speak to me. Tell me the name of the magic tree. And the ground shook, and the mountain rumbled, and the mountain spirit said, Awongalema. And Lion said, Awongalema, Awongalema. Okay, I got it, thanks. And he ran down the mountain and he ran back to his friends. But just before he made it back to his friends, there was this big giant anthill, and he tripped over it and fell, and the name of the magic tree got knocked right out of his head. Well, he went up to his friends and he said, I'm so sorry. I knew it, I did, but it got knocked right out of my head, and now I don't remember what it was. And his friends were so disappointed. Well, the musk ox stood up, and the musk ox said, I am the strongest one here. I will go to see the mountain spirit and find out the name of the magic tree. So they said goodbye to him, and musk ox lumbered on his way all the way to the mountain, and he climbed the mountain and he said, mountain spirit, speak to me. Tell me the name of the magic tree. And the ground shook, and the mountain rumbled, and the mountain spirit said, Awongalema! Awongalema, okay, I got it, thanks. And he lumbered back down the mountain, and he lumbered on to his friends, but before he reached his friends, there was a giant anthill, and he tripped over it, and the name of the magic tree got knocked right out of his head. Well, he went up to his friends, and he said, I'm so sorry, I had the name of the tree, I had it, and I lost it. And his friends were so disappointed. Well, the only one left was Tortoise. They looked at Tortoise, and Tortoise looked at them and shrugged. And they said, well, we know it's going to take you a long time, but you're the only one left. You're our only hope. Please, Tortoise, will you try? And Tortoise said, yep, I'll go. I'll go as fast as I can. And so they said goodbye, and Tortoise went walking on his way. And he walked, 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 and he walked. And he finally got to the mountain, and he climbed up the mountain. And when he finally got to the top, he sang, Mountain Spirit, speak to me. Tell me the name of the magic tree. And the ground shook, and the mountain rumbled, and the mountain spirit said, Awongalema! And the tortoise said to himself, Awongalema, Awongalema. And as he walked down the mountain, on every step, he repeated to himself, Awongalema, Awongalema. And on every step, all the way back to his friends, he said, Awongalema, Awongalema. You could do it with me.
Awongalema,
Awongalema. And he saw up ahead a giant anthill, but he was walking slowly enough that he saw it ahead of him and walked around it, still saying, Awongalema, Awongalema. And finally he got back to his friends and he said to them, Awongalema. And his friends were so excited, and they gathered again under the tree, and they looked up into its branches, and they all said, Awongalema. And suddenly the magic started happening. The buds opened up and turned into flowers, and the flowers opened up and turned into fruit, the most wonderful fruit you can ever imagine. All kinds of fruit, because it was a magical tree. There were pears, and there were apples, and there were plums, and there were even pineapples, all kinds of fruit growing on this tree. And the four friends took the fruit, and they ate, and they ate, and they ate, and they called out for as far and as wide as they could for all the other animals to come and eat from this magic tree. And all the animals gathered around and ate all the fruit they could eat, and it was wonderful. And they never forgot the name of that magic tree. So the next time there was a drought, they could work the magic again. Will you remember the name of the magic tree?
Awongalema.
The end.